okay to talk about it if you were in it. It was a great night, though, but unfortunately, it's possible it might be our only project to not see the light of day.
Blarget, wait till I get home and then we can do our match. You're gonna kick my ass too, by the way. Just remind me on Twitter on Thursday. I should be able to do it. Or Friday. Friday might be better. Do you guys think you'll ever do another recording session at John's house? Oh, went by too fast. I missed the second part of that question. I don't think I'm gonna see the other part of that.
I probably shouldn't say this on air, but not if I don't want to cause another car accident.
Yeah. Yeah, please do not cause another car accident in my country. That would be very
Did we ever tell that story publicly?
You probably did. Feel free to tell it again if you'd like.
Tim and I, well, John went to work. Tim and I were hungry and we decided to walk down to Tim Hortons. They would not accept my American debit card and would only take cash. We didn't have any on us, so we walked down to an ATM machine. On the way there, we found this new type of crosswalk that we'd only ever seen in Canada before. We pressed the button to cross a street, which then turned on a stop sign that cars had to obey. There was a car speeding towards it. They slammed on their brakes and got rear-ended by the car behind them, so we caused an accident. We also left the country that day, so like we skipped the country like hours after causing a car accident.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that's almost why I don't want to let them back in the country.
For the safety of your people.
Yeah, but for real, it's because I live in an apartment now, so I don't have a spare bedroom, it's just a couch.
Well, you sleep on my couch, I could sleep on yours. Or do you sleep on your own couch? Is that what you're implying?
No, that's not what I'm implying.
No.
Well, I've got. Well, then.
I'm sure you've slept on it before.
I'm sure there might be a way to rig it so that you like have an air mattress for one and a couch for the other. We'll figure that in the future. But really, you've got the best setup for recording out of the three of us.
Yeah, that's just kind of why we do it this way. Plus, on top of that, I have all my equipment here, so it's just easier.
Think you were going to talk about the crosswalks that have Pong on them? Or sometimes I thought you were going to talk about the crosswalks that have Pong on them. What's this story?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's like crosswalks where like it has literally you can play Pong with the person across the street while you're waiting to cross the street.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
They have that set up on the
that's cool.
things or something.
Of course, America's not cool enough to have that, though.
Actually, I think that was in America.
Oh, that's cool.
Somewhere. I don't know.
Chug, have you ever played Shovel Knight and/or any of the Shantae games?
I want to play Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight's really good.
Haven't really had the time.
I've played Shovel Knight.
Teddy, you better not be chewing on cables.
Shovel Knight's really good. I think Tim and I have both finished it.
Yep.
Has Chugga thought about trying the last story on Wii? Currently just started playing it at the moment and like it.
Kind of funny. While I was ill with my infection, I decided that would be one game that I would try to finish. I started it up, was getting kind of into it, had been playing for 2 hours. Never once saved, and the game crashed.
Oh, man.
That killed my motivation to play it for a very long time. I lost 2 hours of progress.
Do you know what the status of the PAX Prime Throne Controllers recording is? As far as I'm aware of, it is MIA at this point. They were going to edit it and post it. They asked me for footage. I was a couple days late on it, but I still sent it. This was back in September. They have the footage. They just haven't done anything with it.
I can ask.
They sent me a recording of it, but it's like one angle because I needed the audio to sync up because they needed me to record the actual like program so they could have something to cut to.
I can ask, but yeah, for what we know, we weren't really told anything.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything. I don't hear of it since, so I am under the impression it's just not happening. Have any of you guys played the Suikoden series?
No.
Never have.
I
watched 2 LPs of Suikoden 2.
I was an incredibly white person growing up, pronouncing it Suikoden.
Well, you can get the second one on PSN soon, if not already, so I highly recommend that, because that's apparently the best one.
And it costs like $600.
To get a real copy, yeah. All three of you, how disappointed were you with Sonic Boom?
I didn't really give a rat's ass because I don't play that much Sonic.
I played the demo at E3, had a feeling it was going to be bad. Unsurprised to see that it was actually bad.
I played it at E3. It felt like an alpha version that just simply was not ready to be played by anybody really outside the dev team, and that just kind of seemed to be what it was. For the record, I didn't hate the character redesigns when they did them. I just kind of took it as some side non-canon thing, and it's not even close to being the only game series that's done something like that for a little spin-off thing. I've heard the show was good, though, but I've never actually seen it. I've forgotten to record it every week.
Same. I've heard the show's good, I haven't seen it. What are your upcoming conventions, be it for fun or for throwing controllers? Next con for sure is MagFest.
Yep.
For all three of us.
Sure.
And PAX East.
Then PAX East. As far as we're aware, nothing else is currently in the works. I don't know what cons you guys go to that I don't, or vice versa.
None before then. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think the only con I go to that you guys don't currently is Screw Attack Gaming Convention. That's because I compete. That's because I compete in the Iron Man of gaming.
Yeah.
So
I think the only thing we can really say is that we don't have confirmation whether or not we have a panel at PAX East yet. But
yeah, we don't know about PAX East. We don't find out about PAX East until like a month before the convention, which is pretty crummy. But that's how it's always been.
Yeah. So we can't tell if we're gonna have a panel though, but we're at least gonna be there.
Yeah, we'll definitely be at PAX East. We've all got passes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Making sure. Because we had a sketchy one last year.
Are we gonna try to hit MomoCon again next year?
Yeah, good question.
We were actually invited back.
We have been invited back to MomoCon?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you want to go back to MomoCon? I had a good time.
Yeah,
I
sure.
wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll probably be at MomoCon too. And I haven't talked to Con Bravo yet, but I think they might want us back too, not sure.
So much.
They seemed pretty impressed with us last year.
Yeah, well, it was fun.
Go on. Sorry.
What was so special with Emil playing Mega Man X? You have to see it to believe it. Because he's never played the game before, or really a Mega Man game.
No, I've
Or sorry, you've never beaten a Mega Man game
I beat
before.
Mega Man 2.
I thought you said you didn't.
I did.
Cool.
Alright, well, never mind then. But we watched him play Mega Man X for the first time last trip. It was an experience. Have any of you guys played the Sly Cooper games? I've played the first one, and the third one came up on Cookie one night.
First.
Tim?
First bird. Oh wait, what was it?
Have you played any of the Sly Cooper games?
Oh no.
Emil, would you LP the Mother 4 fan game once it's released?
That's not really something I thought about. I've given much thought to. I kind of like to play games before making a call on that, though, because nothing wrong with doing it, though, but, like, my style's never really been dive in head first before I'm even sure if I'm gonna like the game or not. It's, made by different people. For what it's worth, there was a time when the former director of the game did reach out to me asking me if I would make their video walkthrough for the game, but since then he has stepped down and I've never been contacted again by those people.
Crazy. Wow. Shout out to Chugga for being an awesome YouTuber and being my inspiration to make videos in the future. Thank you, and hopefully I get to meet you one time.
Woo!
John, Tim, and Emil. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, you're too kind. Hopefully you'll be at a convention someday.
John, Tim, and Emil, are there any characters you'd like to see added into Smash 4 beside, or like Mewtwo will be?
I still am holding the flag for Prince Fluff.
Waluigi, though, I know it will never
Fluff.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, it's like Locke from Final Fantasy VI, maybe. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I think if there'd be a guest character, it'd be Cloud.
Well,
Yeah.
I know, but he's the most iconic Final Fantasy.
Well, technically, he's a Square Enix character too.
Yeah.
Nobody was really asking for Geno this time around, by the way, when everyone was asking for him in Brawl.
Oh yeah. There was a...
Like, no one would shut up about wanting Geno in Brawl, though, but this time around, no. Nobody talking about him.
Emil, why don't you have your own Twitch channel anyways?
I just don't really stream. It's simple as that. The other thing is that somebody actually stole the name Chuggaaconroy on Twitch, though, so I don't own it, and I just kind of haven't really had the patience to try to fight for it.
I think if you contact Twitch, they could probably give it to you, but you obviously would have to stream on it.
I know.
So,
For what it's worth, I have never said anything about this publicly before, so this is a first year. I do have an idea for something I want to stream down the line, and I'm pretty certain it's something that people would want to see. And I think it would work better in stream form than in pre-recorded form, but
Five Nights at Freddy's.
if it happens, it's not going to be until next year at least.
Oh wow. This is the first I've heard of this.
See, it really is that exclusive. Not even Tim's heard of it.
Man.
I've asked John this
Crazy.
before, but never Tim or Emil. Have either of you played Cave Story, and what's your opinion on it?
I played it. I was absolutely terrible at it. I couldn't get very far.
I haven't played it. I've watched some of it.
Cave Story is pretty difficult, but it's a fun game.
Yeah, I've watched entire Let's Plays of it, and I liked what I saw. I'm just not very good at it myself.
Well, we're glad you never got to hell, or whatever the name of that last area
Oh
was.
my god, I saw
That
that.
last area is
I
ridiculous.
watched Gerard play through that.
I heard Johnny describe it as like, Cave Story is like a walk in the park if you're a Metroid player, and then you have like a 50-foot tall mountain at the end of that walk after you're already tired.
That's correct.
Duh.
That is entirely correct. If you want the true ending, you have to go through literal hell. Chugga, will you ever LP a Nuzlocke run?
Well, I'm not gonna say absolute specifics, but it's kind of funny that's getting mentioned now, of all things.
That must be the thing.
Dun dun dun.
Anyway.
Would any of you guess on Billy MC's charity stream if he asked you? I think there was a kappa after that too.
I gotta say, I'd be very surprised if Slow Beef and Diabetes weren't like best friends with Billy MC at this point.
When will Proton John will quit ending? I think that means when will streams stop, or when will videos stop like jumping in and out of production? When I stop traveling and having tech issues. For those who don't know what the Yoshi's Island tech issues was, I actually had a computer break, like it's unusable. So,
But
this
you
is a
have
different
an
computer.
awesome new laptop now that you finally moved over to.
Yeah, that finally works and edits. So when I get back and I'm not traveling again, I can actually get caught up. That was the reason for so many other delays. That
That hurts.
I smell cat
I hope
litter.
that's a cat. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
that
it
cat
is.
just was in there using the bathroom, so sorry about that. I'll clean it up after the show.
Do you know?
No.
Oops, sorry. John, do you know how to speak French, or do you just know the pronunciation? I was bilingual in high school, but since I've had to use it so little living in Alberta, I've more or less forgotten it. I'll pick up bits and pieces, but I think it's more my pronunciation's better than my actual like speaking vernacular on it. I can read it more or less to piece things together still, but speaking it, I can only talk a little bit.
Same thing. I can understand most of what I read though, but speaking it just now.
No, French is a total Greek to me.
Is Comic-Con gonna be a thing again? We had how much notice on that? 3 weeks?
3 weeks, and only a week and a half before it did we know for sure it was going to happen.
Yeah, I already had like SGC and Con Bravo like scheduled before we even knew about that.
And you got
So
to
I was
go
like,
to 3
oh,
conventions.
3
in a month.
cons in a row, please. No, I want a break.
Wow.
That was a pain in the ass that month. But no for sure. We won't find out probably till like, a month before, maybe. Emil, what is your favorite non-legendary Pokemon?
Archeops.
All three of you, what was the first video game you ever played? Tom.
Sonic 2.
Clowns and balloons.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Damn. Emil, will you ever LP Tales of Symphonia or its sequel? There's a character named EMIL for Emil, and I think it'd be funny if you played them. Also, oops. Also, it looked like you should do videos with your cats, I think is what was said.
Yeah.
Cut away too fast.
They used to barge enemies a lot back in the old days, not so much anymore. A lot of people have been asking for more gigantic RPGs after Xenoblade Chronicles has been going for a little bit, and I'm happy that people want to see more of that. Honestly, I couldn't have hoped for Xenoblade Chronicles to do better than it has, though. I'm very happy people have been that into it. But, you know, maybe someday. I don't really like to talk future plans because they change a lot.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Emil, will you ever LP a Metroid game?
You're gonna be ashamed of me. I've never beaten a Metroid game.
Oh, boy.
If you guys are ever going to visit New York, will you take a picture of Emil in front of the Metropolitan Museum while embarrassed?
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna lie, I actually really want to visit that place after that. By the way, actually, I was wanting to bring this up in recordings this week, but I never did.
Okay.
I actually have heard of the Metropolitan Museum of Art before that puzzle, but I've only ever heard it referred to as the Metropolitan. I'd never heard the full name before. So had it just been the Metropolitan, I would have known what it was, but I had no idea on the full name.
There you go.
Mm-mm.
Emil, how old are your cats?
Well, one of them is 11, the other one is unknown because he was abandoned by his previous owner.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Kirby is the one that I know, Teddy's the one I don't.
Have three of you ever thought to try Monster Hunter, any version really, for TRG?
I've played a little bit of Monster Hunter 3. I guess it could be fun if you guys were up for it, though.
I think we'd all really need to be into the series is the only thing.
Not personally my kind of game, because every boss takes 20,000 hits in, like, 40 minutes to kill.
Oh, so you have to try. Okay.
Well, it's just like... I'm okay with bosses being hard, I'm not okay with, like, being on the same enemy for that long.
Would you ever let Darkside Phil be a guest, or is he too controversial?
Oh, good.
I highly doubt he'd want to be a guest, to be honest.
Nah. He'd probably just... Nah, I shouldn't say anything.
Da, da, da. Do you guys like the direction Nintendo's going with Zelda U?
I think it's interesting. I don't know if it was necessarily inspired by this, though, but between seeing what that game looks like and seeing what Final Fantasy 15 looks like, I'm starting to think that Xenoblade Chronicles was a really influential game.
Got a point there.
I'm not a fan of open world games, but maybe Nintendo will change my mind. Who knows?
Only because you haven't played the best game ever in the history of forever.
I played Xenoblade, remember? It was on stream.
For like 2 minutes, then you're like, okay, yeah, this is an RPG, screw that.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there you go.
I know your rule, I'm not blaming you.
Can you please give Emil a hug for me and tell him he's my favorite Let's Player? To be fair, though, you are all awesome, and I hope to meet you all one day.
Yay.
Why are you coming?
I gotta hug you and
I'm-
tell you that
there
you're
it
my
is.
favorite Let's Player.
I'm supposed to hug you for that person.
Well, yeah, now you can.
Okay.
I don't want to now.
I'm still witnessing
There you go.
something.
There you go.
He's-
Pat on
he's-
the back, too.
He said he didn't want to hug me, but he did it anyway. Hopefully that added value to the hug.
Ah, it's a prime hug now. Emil and Tim,
Prime
since I'm a
rib.
fellow LPer, about how many hours does it take you guys to do one video?
Depends on the game. Because this is if it's an RPG where you have to cut out battles and stuff like that, it could be anywhere from like usually I don't know 40 minutes to an hour. That's just from like it could be more than that. I mean, it depends on the length of the video too. Because you could have one like hypothetically it's 15 minutes long, then you're playing for 15 minutes. You're also going back and watching it again for 15 minutes, so that's at least a half hour right there. And then each time you cut out a battle, you know, you're finding the start point and the end point of the battle, splitting the video and the sound separately both times, cutting out what's in the middle and then dragging the rest of it back, and maybe overlapping it by a second so that it fades into the next part. And, you know, by the time you've done that, another 30 seconds pass for each time that happens. So, like, you know, well, I mean, I'm over-explaining things here, but it can end up taking a while if you have enough of them in one video.
Heavily depends on the game. For instance, an episode of Kirby's Epic Yarn took maybe 25-30 minutes to record, like 40 to edit. If you want to talk Xenoblade stuff, I had to switch to 5-day-a-week updates because with how much stuff gets cut out of those, there's about 2 hours recorded for one episode of footage. If I'm really lucky and it's just a really good straight shot without many cuts, maybe an hour and 15 minutes of footage is recorded for the video. That's, you know, they get edited down to like 20-30 minutes, the entire editing process. If it's not a really editing intensive video, I can have it done in like an hour to 15 minutes though, but if it's like a really side quest heavy video, then like that has like a lot of things going into it, that can take like 3, 4, 5 hours depending on how much content is shown in it. And that's like not even counting like the organization that like went into it to like order the side quests and like do them in a convenient order and like deciding when to do what and all that stuff with the amount of content that's in the game. So it's really hard to say. I had to switch to 5-day-a-week updates because with 7 a week, I just was not getting enough sleep.
Yeesh.
And then there's also the fact that rendering it takes a long time, and I have the videos reviewed by other people because I've been working on them for so long by the time they're finished that I'm likely to not catch mistakes. So I just kind of like have them watch through it because when you're kind of cramming that much content into one video, I kind of want to make sure that as much stuff is correct as possible when I'm trying to be informative about things.
Tim, what is the next PAX East Mega Man theme gonna be? Or when is it, I believe is what they wrote.
Oh, wow.
And they're not asking for you to rush on it, they're just curious.
It's most likely Luca Jen's theme that's going to be next.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure what her technical robot name is even at this point.
When did you put up the
Luca
last
Woman.
one?
Balls Woman?
Was it Chuggas that went up?
Balls Woman. The last
Or no,
one?
no, Chuggas went up for a while.
I think the last one was.
Oh no, it was. Oh no, you're right, because we've got ours. And that dude who does the 8-bit remixes of your songs. This is what I was waiting for to put in throwing controllers.
So I got you and me and Jepson and.
I thought you already. No, you said you were going to use the chord you used in Emil's for Lucas, but you thought it fit Emil's better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's his. Yeah. Holy cow! I can't talk. The part of the melody in Chuggaaconroy's theme came to me in a dream, but in the dream, it was a lot slower and more like a ballad, I guess. And so at the time, I thought it would become Luca's theme because of that. But then I tried it, with the fast chords and the kind of more relentless sound, and it ended up working out pretty well. But then the funny thing is, like, when I first wrote the song, I didn't actually have Chugga in mind for it at all. I had Matthew Patrick. And for the longest time, it was Matt Pat's theme. But I was like, I can't do this because he wasn't one of the original 8. And even if it was, and even if I did say, well, we can bring him into it, it would probably look like I was just trying to do it to get his attention or something, and I didn't want to be one of those kind of people, So I just said, okay, let's make this Chugga's theme, and that's kind of basically what happened.
Alright. Hyles also reminded me, I forgot to hug you when you got back.
Oh,
That one's...
thank you.
There you go. Sorry.
Sorry, I had my hand up at them.
It's okay, sorry man.
We went
Yeah.
from punches to hugs.
Can you
Sure.
guys do another Battletoads race? I have a hard time feeling, or thinking we're gonna get Jake or Pat to do that again. You've already done like 2 others since.
Yeah, I've done like 2 or 3 others.
And you've gotten ungodly good at that game now, so.
I don't know, there's some people that have gotten better than even me. Or what? Better than me, not better than even me. Yeah.
Emil, are you still giving away copies of Xenoblade?
Yes. Okay. I have not done a giveaway in a while. Did 2 things. 1, my infection that lasted for several months. 2, the fact that I kind of wanted an easier way to ship to Europe because I've gotten a hold of some PAL copies and I'm still working on getting shipping to Europe inexpensively worked out. Hopefully in a few days I'll have news on that, but yes, I am giving away more. I only gave away like 12 or so, something like that. I wanted to say 12. And I've obtained more copies since I last talked about that though, so I still have like 30, 35 to give away.
Man.
Jeez. Have you guys ever thought of doing a race, kind of like the Battletoads race for TRG?
I don't know.
We suggested in the past, but all the games we suggested got shot down by other people. So I remember suggesting a Mario 3 race, and you're like, no, I'm bad at Mario 3.
Yeah, if we did a Mario 3 race, I'd probably still be in World 3 by the time you guys were done with the game.
Keep in mind, last time you played the game saying you weren't going to get past World 3, you made it past World 3. Because remember, it was when Luke was here for, I think, Little Big Planet 1.
Yeah.
You got you to play through it.
Yeah.
And you got to at least World 4, if not World 5. Do you guys have any plans to have a panel at SGC? Considering the other guys don't go, it's just me, probably not. I usually help run Gerard's panel, although I don't know if he's going to be doing the same thing this year. So I don't know. That would be up to those 2 if they wanted to go, and if SGC wanted us to do the panel.
For those asking if we're going to be at X panel or Y panel or Z panel, X, Y, Z. Anyway, for those asking if we're going to be at certain conventions and things like that, doing a panel, a lot of it does come down to which conventions ask us to do it or which conventions are willing to support us in doing it. So if you want to see us at a certain place that we haven't been to, talk to your local convention staff. Tell them to talk to us.
Tim, how excited are you for the next game from Freebird Games?
Oh, I'm pretty stoked. It's looking to be pretty good. It's probably going to be a while before they finish it, or so I would imagine, from what little I've heard.
Let's do 5 more questions and let's call it for the night.
I gotcha.
Alright.
5 questions at Freddy's.
Yeah, 5-question rundown. Although this usually goes over 5 because of me. Emil, where are the Okami Demon Gates?
Oh.
Oh boy. It kind of... Okay. The plan was for me to make those videos with Okami HD because it just kind of makes sense though, because I kind of wanted to make a video talking about the differences in that version anyway at some point. But it hinges on me 100%ing Okami HD, and I just simply haven't played it. Not much, at least. So it just kind of hinges on me having the time to actually play through Okami HD.
Gotcha. I'm trying to skip just stream questions for me because these will be answered in like later streams, so it's just me again.
Okay.
What are your guys' favorite films of the year so far?
Oh, has it been a great year or what? Oh man, there's been some good ones. Interstellar. I really liked Nightcrawler, which I'm not surprised because I knew I was going to.
Oh, was it really good?
Yes, it's great.
Man, Interstellar was fun. I enjoyed that, but I also like sci-fi, so.
Oh yeah. A lot of people hated Men, Women, and Children, and I liked it for some reason. People hated it because it didn't say anything that we didn't already know about. Like, it's basically a movie about how the internet affects modern life. I thought it was interesting.
I can't even remember what else came out this year because there was a bunch of stuff early in the year I was super psyched for and still enjoyed.
Yeah, there was a movie called A Place Beyond the Pines that might have been last year, but it was really good.
I want to say that was actually this year. I don't remember.
Might have been.
In current memory, I'm gonna say Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed. Interstellar. I really enjoyed.
Other than Interstellar, I've never heard of any of those movies that you just mentioned.
Oh man.
And I didn't see Interstellar. Honestly, I'd probably say Guardians of the Galaxy this year.
Oh, that was this year too.
I haven't seen that yet.
Changed my mind for Captain America because Guardians of the Galaxy was really good.
I'd never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy before the movie came out, and I had like no interest in it though, but it was just so heavily recommended to me that I just went to go see it on a whim, and oh god, I'm glad I did.
Cool.
Do any of you read Homestuck?
I've checked it out once. It didn't so much seem like something you read is more of an experience, because it seemed kind of interactive in a way.
The way it used to be is that you kind of like suggested action, and then that's what they make for the next panel page, and then eventually it just starts taking over. At least that's what it was for Problem Sleuth, which I read through in full. I loved Problem Sleuth, but I didn't get into Homestuck. This is from MS Paid Adventures, if you don't know.
Yeah.
This is. I guess I'd call it a webcomic, but I don't know if you can really call it that.
It's kind of its own beast.
Yeah.
But it seemed interesting.
Sounds cool. I've never read it.
Punch a meal just to remind him this is Abuse a Meal Week. Or a day. Softly, please, though. That wasn't a question. I'm not counting it. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Alright, soft punch. Hiya!
I took a fist to the knee.
Huh.
Nice. Boom.
How do you guys pick games for TRG?
Even I don't know.
There's really no method to it. For multiplayer games, we try to pick like something interesting that we know will be fun. Yeah. It tends to be a lot of platforming games we've noticed. So, I guess since we're here, I'll suggest this idea. How do you guys feel of us trying things similar to what we did with Brawl? Like, say we picked a single-player game and tagged off doing like stages or something like that. Now, we suggested originally, like, I think when we created the channel, we suggested the idea of us doing Sonic Adventure like that, but we never actually decided to do it. So, if we did something like that for TRG, how would you guys feel about that? Just kind of testing the waters here. Man, I have to wait like 30 seconds for a response, so.
I'm gonna clean the cat box real quick.
Alright, I'll yell out the next question to you.